Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's Just Two Movies.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies Summer Break, or if you have teenagers, they refer to it as Summer Bake. My name is Daniel King. With me in the studio this evening, ring ring. Hello, who's there? Excuse me, it's the Bone Phone. J-Bone, back in the house. What's up, brother?
Not much. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing all right. Thanks for showing up.
It's good to be back.
So,
on such a good long notice. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're very welcome. I text J-Bone like 7 hours ago. Was like, hey, think you could do the podcast tonight? He's like, yeah, we'll make it happen. So, if this is your first time tuning into the show, what we do here is this is a podcast where you just make your buddy watch a movie. That's it. That you think that they're gonna like. And then you get together and have a couple of drinks. You also watch something that hopefully it's so bad it's good.
It's not always. Yeah,
not always. It's not always the case. But that's what we're going for. That's the dream. Full disclosure, I know that this movie was my pick, but Jackson was supposed to be here tonight to record and got tied up. And I had already watched this movie, and I needed to be recording this podcast several hours later, so you were kind enough to just watch it, but technically this is Jackson's pick.
Right. Well, that was nice of him to pick it.
Yeah.
So that was his pick. It wasn't your pick for him. It was his pick.
It was his pick it was his pick for us, not my pick for him. Yeah.
Right.
But I did enjoy this. We went with Collateral. It's a 2004 thriller crime, 2 hours long, 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 86% Rotten Tomatoes, 71 on Metacritic. 83% of Google users like this movie. August release, directed by Michael Mann. And it was nominated for some shit. It got an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Stars Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Mark Ruffalo, Jada Pinkett Smith, Peter Berg, Javier Bardem, Jason Statham,
Bruce McGill.
Yeah, Bruce McGill. And that's pretty much it.
I did note
Irma P. Hall plays Jamie Foxx's mom.
Okay.
She's got more lines in it than other people that are credited there. So
that scene is pretty good too.
Yeah, not bad.
The one scene she's in, I got a kick out of it.
Not bad with the old moody mama.
Right. Yeah. To him, yeah. She loved Tom though, but who doesn't love Tom Cruise?
Yeah. What's not to love about Tom Cruise? Okay, so
you know what?
Very, very briefly. No, I can't wait to hear what you're going to say, but
right,
because this is summer break, we got to keep it a little more brisk.
Yes.
So, very briefly, in your own words, in one or two sentences, what would you say this movie's about without spoiling it?
It's about a hired killer that has a job to do, and he gets some help in a taxi driver. Fantastic.
So, if you have not seen Collateral from 2004 with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, and you really want to watch it, you can check it out right now. It's on Hulu. I think I watched it on HBO Max. Yeah. So it's various places streaming. We're about to spoil the whole rest of the movie.
All right. It made some decent money too.
Oh, did it?
I didn't know if you got the box office.
I don't have budget or box office. What do you have?
$65 million budget and $220.9 million.
Motherfuck.
So it made some decent money.
Yeah, that's clapping cheeks in the box office.
You just put Tom Cruise in it, right? Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx at that time?
In 2004, yeah, absolutely. Right. It's weird that I have never seen this. Mm-hmm. So this was Jackson's pick for me.
Right.
And he was like, have you ever seen Collateral? And I was like, no. And he's like, let's do that.
Okay. I had actually seen it. When you asked me, I had told you no. And he even looked at the cover, and I thought, no, I hadn't seen this. But as I was watching it, I had. And I remembered the majority of it. I didn't remember what was going to happen because it had been, I probably watched it in 2004 or 5, so I don't remember hardly anything of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
No, yeah, I thought this was pretty breezy and fun. I have always remembered this as that one movie where Tom Cruise has gray hair.
Yeah. He looks fine with gray hair. He's great with gray hair.
He's got the most versatile hair in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He can do anything with it. It's magnificent.
Right.
You seen Vanilla Sky? It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. He can do whatever he wants. Mission Impossible. He can wear other people's hair on top of his hair. He takes their hair off. Still looks great.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt, one of my favorites.
So Collateral. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run through it real quick. This is going to spoil the entire movie for you. And then we're just going to talk about the parts that we liked.
Okay.
So Jamie Foxx is a cabbie. He is flirting with a prosecuting attorney that works for the DA's office. And he drops her off. Tom Cruise gets in the cab and he's like, hey, listen, you drive me to this place and wait here in the alley for me. And he bang, bang. He assassinates a guy. Dead body falls on the cab. Tom Cruise is like, listen, motherfucker, you driving me around all night. I got to kill 5 motherfuckers. I'm out of here. I'm going to double what you make in a night. And then you're going to live. I'm going to live. And we're going to go our separate ways. Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise are like kind of working against each other this entire time. Although there's really not much of an option for either of them necessarily. Jamie Foxx eventually has it up to here as a mild-mannered dude and winds up killing Tom Cruise.
So I was wondering, does he have some sort, and it may have said something in the beginning and I missed it. He seems to have a bit of OCD or something, or just... He's real anxious around people.
I don't think they mentioned it. Yeah, he's very anxious type. If you're friendly, he's very talkative. If you seem kind of off, he's kind of clams up, it seems.
Right. Yeah, because he's real clean. Tom Cruise has said something about how clean the car was and all that,
Oh yeah, he's like, man, this is the cleanest cab I've ever been in.
Right. He knows his job really well, the taxi. He knows streets. He knows how long it's going to take him to get from point A to B. That's how he flirts with Jada Pinkett. Yeah. Don't tell Will.
So I tell you what I like about this is the violence is pretty top notch. This is straight up an action flick.
Right.
With a mild-mannered dude who has to tap into his bad side. That's what's going on with this.
Yeah.
And I'm into it. It's cool. It's fun. But I am loving the violence in this.
It's nice. Yeah, and Tom Cruise is a badass. He's kicking the shit out of guys.
Tom Cruise is, and it's weird because he's so young in this, 2004 Tom Cruise.
Right.
And he's doing the gray hair and it looks fine. It's like 110% believable.
Right, yeah.
But they could have just not had him be gray-haired. Like, they could have easily just had him with his regular hair and be like, you have brown hair in this movie.
Right.
Would have been the exact same movie. I think they just wanted to show off. They're like, well, Tom Cruise can do gray.
That was one of the requirements. He actually said.
Seems that way.
He wanted that for his resume, actually. It was a requirement.
This is a banger role for Jamie Foxx, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's so great at just doing an everyman. Like, just a Joe everyman.
He acts so uncomfortable, and I wasn't liking it at first. I thought it didn't seem to fit. But given the situation, he would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he's doing it really well.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually, at first I wasn't so sure about it, but as it went on, I liked it.
At first I was
especially
afraid.
As he gets more to be you were
petrified.
Hell yeah, you were.
So another thing that's really great about this is Tom Cruise, he's so goddamn likable.
Yeah,
he's so charming.
So he gets into the car at the very beginning. He's a fucking asshole to him,
Oh yeah, he is kind of a prick.
Yeah, but apparently he meant to do that because he was summing him up. If he pushed back at him, he wouldn't. This isn't the cab that he's going to take tonight. He's going to go find somebody that he can push over. But so as it goes on, he's very likable, and it's his buddy. They have times throughout the movie where they're like bonding. You know what I mean? Especially the scene with his mom. He makes him take him to see his mom. I really enjoyed that scene because she's all like, "Oh, what'd you waste money on flowers for? They're just gonna, rot."
Right. And then Tom Cruise is like, "I bought you flowers," and she's like, "Oh, that's so nice. They're beautiful."
Yeah, I really enjoyed that part.
He's really turning up the charm in this, and this is my favorite part. So Tom Cruise is like kind of mysterious and he's kind of ice cold and he's out there killing motherfuckers and he's a little charming about it. He's like, listen, this is why I have no character ambiguity, is because I take no qualms over fucking killing people because these are all bad dudes. Right. Yes, other bad dudes pay me to do bad things to bad dudes, but they're still bad dudes regardless. When all these people were killed in this other war, did you Did you go join up in the foreign aid? No, of course you didn't. You didn't even bat an eyelash, but you're going to get all huffy because I killed some fucking fat Guido in a hotel room.
Speaking of, he didn't necessarily kill him in a hotel room.
I don't know if Guido's racist. Is Guido racist?
I don't know that I've heard that.
I don't think
one,
any
so.
Italians listen to our show, but our one French listener will probably be like, nice.
Hopefully. No, that scene, I thought it was kind of strange that this professional killer would kill him in such a way. And I did like, there's a couple of, jokes that he does along the way. Tom Cruise, like, I didn't kill him. The bullets in the fall did.
Yeah, I didn't kill him. I shot him.
Right.
But the wounds and the fall out of the window killed him.
Right. But why would he let that happen?
It's because he likes jazz, baby.
Oh,
it's because he likes jazz.
It's unexpected, right?
I got to tell you, I really like the way they wrote about jazz music. I love music. I'm a big music fan. I'm a very mediocre musician, but it's been in my life for a long time. And when Tom Cruise is explaining jazz music and he goes to meet the guy that owns the jazz club, and they're sitting there having that conversation about Miles Davis, the way that they talk about how to make music and what music is, and it's not necessarily the composition, but it's the thing that's hidden in between the notes. That's what makes jazz special, is because it's all free form and improvisation, but it adapts. Every person in a fucking 7-piece band is adapting to each other, and they make this music along the way, and it works. Yeah. And that's what Tom Cruise loves about it. And that whole bit, when they're sitting in that club and he's talking about it, it's fucking giving me goosebumps. Like, I loved it so much. And then Tom Cruise fucking murdered him.
Yeah. That was, and it's kind of funny how that conversation goes, because at first they're having a nice conversation, and then suddenly he turns and he realizes what he's there for.
Oh, yeah. Well, because it's like Tom Cruise stops the waitress, and he's like, hey, well, they're just listening to the band. And he's like, hey, who's on the trumpet tonight? And she's like, oh, that's the owner. And he's like, oh, man, send him to my table. Afterwards, I got to buy him a drink. She's like, okay. She sends him to the table, and they're just sitting there talking. They're just talking about music for like 5 straight minutes.
Right.
And it's really good dialogue. It's really interesting. Also, really great scene by Barry Henley, who plays the club owner. Just really, really well done. And then Tom Cruise is like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm with so-and-so. And he's like, fuck, you know those motherfuckers? He just knows the jig is up. He knows that Tom Cruise is there to kill him.
Right.
And he's trying to sweet talk his way out of it, sort of. So Tom Cruise is like, tell you what, I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you a trivia question. You get it right, you get the fuck as far away from here as you possibly can. And he's like, oh man. He's like, if I walk out of here alive, I'll be so far away by tomorrow, it'll be like I was dead.
Mm-hmm. Then they play a little game of trivia.
Just ask him where Miles Davis learned music.
Right.
And the guy's like, shit, I know everything there is to know about Miles Davis. He went to his fucking parents, sent him to his dad grew up in St. Louis. He sent him over to Juilliard, fucking New York. And that's where he learned music. And then Tom Cruise shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
And he's like, actually dropped out of Juilliard. Moved in with some other guy who was another musician and mentored him for like 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, fucking interesting shit. But Tom Cruise, ice fucking cold in this.
Yeah, he is. Oh, yeah. And like I said, there's a couple of parts like a while ago with him falling, with the guy falling and all that. Earlier, he had said something about they get pulled over by the cops. This is after, this is after that body had fallen out. Mm-hmm. And he's like, get rid of them. You don't have the trunk space. It's
he's like, get rid of the cops. He's like, you pop that trunk, they're going in.
Right.
And you don't have the trunk space.
Yeah. Man, those little things throughout the movie, I actually enjoyed those quite a bit too, from Tom Cruise.
Who's your favorite performance in this? Mine's Tom Cruise, hands down. I mean, Jamie Foxx is great in this, but dude, Tom, this is, I wouldn't necessarily say against type for Tom Cruise.
Well, he's a bad guy in this, and that's somewhat unusual.
Yeah, it is somewhat unusual to see him as just a bad dude, and he is a bad dude.
But he is so likable, which is, is cool. He did good. There was something else I wanted to say here. The scene. Okay, this is a scene where they have kind of a bonding moment they get the car back to the, where he works, where his shop or whatever it is, the where you park the car in the lot,
the garage,
the garage. That's the word. So And then his cop or his boss is calling him and he's like being a dick to him and, oh, you're going to have to pay for that. If there's damage, you're going to have to pay for that. And he's like, oh man, you can tell I can't say that. He's my boss.
He's a pushover.
He's like, oh man. And he's just like, this sucks. And then Tom Cruise, he's like, I don't remember exactly. Like, tell him he's an asshole.
Yeah. Tell him you're going to take this cab and stick it up his ass.
Right. And then he gets on there and he tells him all kinds of shit.
And he's like, I'm a lawyer. I'm going to report you to the DMV, you son of a bitch. You know your insurance covers this shit. You're threatening a working man. I'm a lawyer. I'll fucking fuck you up.
Right.
The guy's like, whoa, hey, it's me. I'm Paulie. Let's not get excited. I live in Los Angeles, but I'm originally from New York. Hey.
All right. He's not a cop.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's good shit. So Tom Cruise has got the guy, like, as soon as he's got him on the ropes, he just hands it back to fucking Jamie Foxx, and he's like, tell me he's an asshole.
Right. I know.
Tell me if he tries that shit again, you're gonna stick this yellow cab up his ass, up his fat ass.
Yeah, up his fat ass.
He's
exactly.
like, it's the least threatening sounding thing ever. When Jamie Foxx is like, man, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And you try this again, I'm gonna stick this cab up your ass. Like he was not happy about
yellow
saying
cab.
Yeah, yellow cab.
I did enjoy that scene though quite a bit.
Yellow Cab, contact me at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com, at itsjusttwomovies on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, or any other platforms where there's like @ and you search usernames and it's just two movies. Or if you're interested in the show, you're liking the show, you can find other episodes where you found this one, or just give us a Google. It's just two movies.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah, lay it on me. I got answers.
So
7.
Tom Cruise, 7?
7.
Is that the answer? You got 7 answers.
I don't know. Keep
It could
going.
work. So
Keep
Tom
talking.
Cruise. And I think in every movie I've ever seen, when he runs, he looks like he is just the fastest dude ever.
It's a very full body thing when he runs. Yeah.
It is. Everything's moving. And he looks super fast compared to the other people who doesn't look fast. So I think
it's because he's not a big man.
He's very short. He's very close to the ground. And that's what I was thinking.
Have you ever seen that like Instagram or TikTok video or whatever of somebody that's like 5'2" running at 17 miles an hour, and then it shows a fucking like a larger man running at 17 miles an hour? It just seems like a jog.
It does. Okay. So yeah, that would make sense. Why? Because he's known to be quite the small fella, right?
It just looks like he's booking ass, though.
Right, he does.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I really enjoy that about him.
I'm a very rotund gentleman, since this is an audio platform, or portly, whichever adjective you prefer. But I can move my ass on the ground, but it looks like I'm going way faster than I am. I gotta fucking pick him up and put him down, man. This is one way I can fucking get anywhere. But I can do that quickly. But not covering a whole lot of area.
Man, that I really did like that scene when he goes in to see the bad guy played by
Javier Bardem.
Yes, I enjoyed that scene. He makes Tom Cruise makes Jamie Foxx go in as his place because he threw the bag.
Pretend to be him because nobody's ever seen Tom Cruise.
Exactly, and that's like, you're not going to fuck this up for me, so you're going to do this. Oh. So he goes in, he gets through the door. First, they don't let him in. He says,
best part of the movie.
Say I'm Vincent. So he gets in.
He's so like nervous and like not making eye contact with anybody and shit. And then when he gets in there and Harvey Bardem starts kind of putting the screws to him, like, you have fucked up.
Right.
Brother.
Yeah.
You have made a terrible mistake. Why should I not kill you right now?
Right. He tells them the story about Santa's helper.
Oh, yeah.
His helper, Pedro, which I thought was kind of funny. I'm going to use that with my kids. Do you remember?
Pedro.
It's just a story he tells him. And he says that, Pedro is Santa's helper, and Pedro will come and leave a burrow on your window if you've been bad. And if he comes back the next night.
I didn't think it was Pedro. Santa Claus helper burrow.
And he leaves that, he leaves the
Black Peter.
Black Peter?
Black Peter. That's his name. He's a mule.
Right.
Yeah, Black Peter.
I don't think that's what he says in the movie, though.
Yeah, that's what it says. This is from Goats, Donkeys, and Horses and Reindeer, Santa's Animals Helpers. Everyone knows that Santa Claus... Hold on, wait, this is the wrong thing. Here we go. Collateral, 2004, Javier Bardem as Felix. His helper, Pedro el Negro, or Black Peter. There's an old Mexican tale that tells of how Santa Claus got very busy looking out for the good children, that he didn't have time for the bad children.
Okay. So yeah, he tells that. That was kind of enjoyable. I thought,
and those are things from Google, our famous segment.
Right. I enjoyed it though because I thought I'm going to use that with my kids this year.
It brought a little color to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was made it a little more festive.
Yeah. And then he
Javier Bardem's a scary motherfucker.
Right.
He's always been. He has very stoic, square figures, I suppose.
So that scene ends. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole movie, probably, with Jamie Foxx, and it's just a small little bit. And he's like, and I think of what it's going to lead to in the future. Not that it matters because he dies, but he's like, 25% off, a discount off my future services.
Right.
Make it 35.
Right. In the whole 6 years that I've been doing this, have I missed yet? Or, whatever he says. Yeah. So Jamie Foxx just decides all of a sudden, I'm going to break bad. I'm going to go against type and I'm going to start threatening all these fucking gangsters in this place. He's like, so what do you think? What do you think? Do you think Santa Claus would be upset? He's like, I think I would tell your man behind me to put his gun away before I take it from him and beat him to death with it.
Right.
I got to tell you right now, man, the ultimate insult is to brandish a weapon and then have somebody else take it from you and then proceed to beat you to death with it.
Yeah, I can imagine. That would be pretty rough.
That's pretty, like just an unarmed man and be like, haha, well, I have a stick. Right. And they take the stick from you and then proceed to beat you until you stop moving. Woof. Bad stuff.
Right after that, Mark Ruffalo is
we didn't even talk about Mark Ruffalo. How fucking dope is Mark Ruffalo rocking that gangster look?
Right?
He's not a gangster. He's a cop, but he's got like the fucking goatee and the soul patch and the slick back hair.
Right.
And he looks very like, hey, yo, what are you doing here? Hey, I'm fucking walking. Hey.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a good look for him.
It is, yeah. He just looked...
It's the only thing I've ever seen Mark Ruffalo in and be like, look at this greasy motherfucker.
Right? Yeah. No joke, yeah.
He looked good, man.
I agree. He played the part well.
Yeah, he did. It was a good look for him. Hey, what were you saying about
So it's 2004. He's like, he says, email me this, his license to my cell phone. Email it to my cell phone, dude. It cracks me up.
He's got the flip phone. He's got the flip phone too. It's weird how long flip phones lived in movies compared to real life.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
They were around for a while in real life, but even after the majority of people had smartphones, flip phones were still very prominent in a lot of cinema and are still now sometimes.
Yeah. And that's, they have, I'd made a note about them, the flip phones all being the same. I thought they were, but I didn't see the first two well enough to know, but by the time I was thinking about it, the third one Jamie Foxx steals later in the movie. I know it's noticeably different, but it is a flip phone still.
You know how they do.
Right. I figured they had because there's a couple things that I caught that I didn't exactly love, and I was thinking that was one of them, but then I guess, well, at least they use different models because they wouldn't have all this. Not everybody would have the same exact cell phone, even with it being the flip phone that year.
Oh, do you mean a Motorola Razr? Justin, is that what you mean, a Motorola Razr?
No, that would be too fancy. I had a Motorola Razr.
I never had a Motorola Razr. So, various tussles acquire in between points A and B, and then eventually Jamie Foxx is like, fuck you, Tom Cruise, and he wrecks the cab deliberately.
Yeah, and that's a scene that I don't love.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that either.
So the wreck itself wasn't the problem, but if you notice, after it, the car stops, it rolls a couple times, it flips, it does whatever it does, and then it stops. And you see Vincent, or Tom Cruise's character, just in the back, just kind of... just strapped in there. He's just sitting there, and he's upside down because the car's upside down. And then it's there for at least a full second or two. And then it goes to the next scene and it goes to the opposite side of the car and he's on his hands and knees and he's crawling out,
Yeah, so, there's a weird cut in there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It should have just been brought back a little bit. I thought that was for something like this that did so well. I thought it was weird that was even left in.
Show him struggling to get out.
Right.
You watch Ozark?
I haven't finished it.
It's a really brutal car accident in Ozark. Makes my butthole pucker every time I watch it. They show it twice in the season.
Well, I saw the first one, but I haven't seen what happened. So it shows you at the beginning of the last
The wreck
season.
is the same. It just shows it to you twice, and both times I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
It like
pretty rough.
my fucking makes my nuts kind of hurt a little bit, and my butthole puckers up. I don't like it.
One thing, this was right after that, we're getting to the end of the movie. He's running through the city. He grabs the cell phone. Right after the wreck, Tom Cruise gets out. He takes off running. A cop comes.
Yeah.
And then finally, Jamie Foxx is like, I gotta help her. He's wanting to get my chick, man.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx ascertains that Tom Cruise is going to kill the girl that Jamie Foxx was kind of flirting with at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
She gave him her number, and she's like,
He sees on his computer who it is, and it's her.
Yeah, and it's her. So the jig is up.
So the cop is, looking around. He's like, "Oh, you okay? Just sit over here." And then he sees the dead body in the trunk, which I forgot about at this point.
Yeah,
He's been in there the
trunk the whole movie. It's been in the trunk for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Right.
Easy to forget about.
So then he's like, he sees that on the computer. He sees that he's going after her. So he's like, I got to help her. So he gets the cop, wrestles him around, handcuffs him, and he gets the gun and he just takes off. He's like, hey, I'm going here.
Yeah.
Call the cops, he says to the cop.
Jamie Foxx kind of rescues the girl, sort of. They dip into a subway train. Fucking Tom Cruise follows, and they have a little shootout. Jamie Foxx comes out on top, and then Tom Cruise dies on the subway. Movie's over.
Yeah.
However, there's some really great foreshadowing in this. When Tom Cruise is like, I fucking hate Los Angeles. Did you know a guy died on the train in Los Angeles and 6 hours went by before they found out that he'd just been making laps around the city as a corpse?
Yeah.
And then Tom Cruise dies on the train. He's like, man dies on the train. Fucking, you think anybody will notice? There's a lot of really good foreshadowing done in this. And I'll be honest with you, man, I enjoyed it more than I anticipated to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. I actually did too. Because at the beginning, when I was getting into it, I wasn't sure that I was going to be into it. And it was, like I said, Jamie Foxx's, the way he was acting, it was kind of weird. But then I realized he was just playing that character.
He's just doing a part.
And it worked. Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good job. How many, if you had to give it...
probably Tom Cruise thumbs, because he's about that size.
Man, I would say if your thumbs were just gray hair.
Gray hair.
How many gray-haired thumbs would you give this out of 10 gray hair thumbs?
I would probably go an 8.
I'm also going to go an 8, which, you know what? Actually, I'm going to give it an 8.25.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an extra little bump up. Not quite an 8.5.
You got those hairs, you can...
Man, there was a lot of stuff in here. Like, this could have very easily been a very run-of-the-mill action movie.
And that's what I expected.
From 2004. Yeah, me too. Which, even if it was just okay, I would have given it like a 6.5. I don't know, man. Like, just blatant action movies, not really my thing. But, man, some of the writing in this is actually quite clever. And, I think I am going to bump it up to 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 8.5.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Hey, there was one scene that I kind of liked. Whenever they're in that, he's saving... let me rephrase that. Jamie Foxx is saving Jada Pinkett Smith. And they're running out, and Tom Cruise is shooting at him, and then he picks up the chair and throws it through the glass.
Oh, yeah.
And then he steps in the chair or kind of falls by stepping in it. Yeah. That actually happened, and it wasn't planned, apparently. And then they kept it in the movie because Michael Mann actually liked it. So that wasn't planned, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was okay.
I thought I liked it because it's like you're seeing this badass, and he's finally the first time he doesn't get the shot on the first round probably, and then he falls in the chair. It kind of
man, he's savage. My favorite like gun stuff scene in this whole movie is when the 3 or 4 guys or whatever they're robbing Jamie Foxx, and they take Tom Cruise's briefcase, and he's like, he comes out and he's like, hey, homie.
Yeah.
Is that my briefcase?
Yeah.
He's just like the whitest dude in the world.
Yeah, I like
hey, homie.
Yeah, that was good.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Is that my briefcase?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, what else you got for me? Man, the way he like swats that dude and fucking triple taps both those guys. Yeah. Oh, that is cold.
Yeah, I was reading his gun work in this. It's actually used in videos for training, how he takes it out of the holster. It's done so well.
I believe
they actually use it in training videos.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's fucking cool, man. Yeah, it's
It looks good.
It is fucking textbook. Like Tom Cruise does his fucking homework, and he's a Looney Tune, but man, he's a hell of an actor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of things that are also a hell of an actor, we're getting ready to go watch Hitman, starring Timothy Olyphant, whom I am a huge fan of. But this movie, somehow I've seen a Hitman movie, but it was not this one. It was a different one. But video game movies traditionally not very good.
Yeah, they're usually not the greatest movies.
I don't know, but I like Tiffany. I was about to say Tiffany Olyphant. I like Timothy Olyphant.
Whoa, give him some years. You never know.
Give him some time. You never know. I respect his decision, whatever he wants to do. He's a fantastic actor and a very nice man. So we're going to go watch this movie. Here is some fake shit from when we were drunk. When I work up a thirst, I got to go out to the big fridge and grab myself a Tater's Wide Boy. Tater's is the cheapest beer. Tater's is a true Pilsner and an okay beer. Moderately priced Wide Boys. How much do they cost? Tater's new Pilsner, the Wide Boy. 64 ounces of pure Pilsner goodness. Presented at the poorest price possible. The Wide Boy comes in at a whopping 64 ounces in a can that's the same size as a regular beer can, except it's like way bigger, like a tire. It's because it's a Wide Boy, not a tall boy. Do you get it? Ding ding.
Hey Larry, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Real good.
Yeah, you got them taters in like a 6-pack or a 12-pack?
What are you talking about, Tater's Classic or the all-new Wide Boy? The same original recipe in both cans, Greg. But how much of it you want?
Listen, I like taters. I'm not going to lie. I love it.
That's mighty Christian of you.
Hey, man, can I get a 6-pack of Wide Boys? You know, taters.
I'm afraid Tater's doesn't sell the Wide Boy in 6-packs. They're single only.
What?
Yeah, you can buy them onesie twosie, or you can get a pallet.
A pallet, you say?
Yeah, a pallet of them.
From a gas station?
Yep, we deliver them. You got to tip the delivery guy, though. He's going out of his way.
God damn, that's awesome, brother.
It's pretty good. Ask me how much it is.
How much is it?
$12.
And you know I support an American-made product, but I wonder, you got taters on fountain?
Funny you should ask, Greg. Just had it installed this morning.
Holy shit, brother. You telling me that I could fill my cup up with taters from an ice-cold fountain?
Not that kind of fountain, Greg. Like a regular soda fountain.
Oh, you mean like a tap at a bar?
No, I mean like a fountain soda.
Damn, that sounds exotic as hell.
And if you've got your Troy's gas station membership cup, you can get refills for 10 cents. And one free refill every 10.
God damn, brother. That's awesome.
Troy's. Gas. Troy's. Fuel, chips, and Wide Boy taters. Taters Wide Boys.
Taters Wide Boys now on fountain. Only available at select Troy's locations within Hayman County.
The end of the workday is growing near, so it's time to grab a Tater's fucking ice cold beer. Tater's beer. Brief interjection from your program. I just wanted to throw out a couple of special thanks for the folks that make this show possible. Big thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams, Lamplighter Production for our artwork, Godsized Growing for some musical guest appearances, and Dave, who's our YouTube editor. We probably wouldn't even be on that platform were it not for him. If you want to check out anything any of these amazing people are working on, all of their links are in the description for this episode. If you want to contact the show, you can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at It's Just Two Movies. We've got a Facebook page now, so that's on there. You can always leave us a comment on YouTube, or you can email us at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com. Okay, yeah, and if you like the show, like, subscribe, leave us a review. That stuff helps tremendously. So anyway, back to the show. Hitman, Spitman. I don't have any other good ones. Spitman was the best I got, I think. We watched Hitman. It's from 2007, action thriller, hour 34-minute runtime, 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 16% Rotten Tomatoes, 2.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. 74% of Google users like this movie. Release date November 21st, 2007. Directed by Xavier Gens. I'm going to go with Gens.
I like it.
Yep. Stars Timothy Olyphant, Olga. Oh, Jesus. I should have looked at this before we sat down. Olga Kurylenko. Olga Kurylenko. That's what I'm going to go with.
That's it.
Dougray Scott. I like Dougray Scott, but I hate the fact that he never picked a accent.
Right. Yeah, that
in
was
this.
uncomfortable.
It was just kind of all over the place. Robert Nepper, Michael Ophe, Ulrich Thompson. There's not a lot of other really notable people in this. Yes. So, J-Bone.
Yeah.
What'd you think about Hitman?
I'm not a huge Hitman fan anyway, as far as the video games go. They're all right, but I never did get really into them, so I wasn't super excited about Hitman, going into it. And I didn't love it. Olyphant, what's his name?
Timothy Olyphant.
Timothy Olyphant. I don't see him in this role, man. I think he needs to be recast. And it's not that he is bad. I love that guy. I think he does great, but this role is not for him, I don't think.
No, and I'm agreeing with you, man. Hold on.
You know who they need to replace him with? If we, talking about different things that you may or may not do with the movie, Nicolas Cage.
No. Is that what you do? You get Nicolas? I think Nicolas Cage would be a better Agent 47 than fucking Timothy Olyphant would.
I don't know. That was a joke, but
no, I got it. It was a funny joke.
I'm a fan of Nicolas Cage, so he can do a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah. So speaking of Timothy Olyphant, here's the number one thing, Izzy. You're absolutely right. I don't buy Timothy Olyphant as a manufactured, cold-blooded killer. However, I do buy him as an assassin and a skilled guy that's good at killing people.
Right.
Yeah. I think we differ on the bald look. I think he's pulling it off okay. You weren't a fan.
It just looks strange to me. I don't know that it's bad.
I get it.
I wouldn't say that it's bad.
I get
it's just so much. It's so
It'd be
strange.
like it's like a shaved Tom Cruise.
Right.
It's a little off-putting. No particular reason why, because he's got such a good versatile hair.
Right.
Anyway, we'll come back to bald talk. That'll be our next segment. But Timothy Olyphant, our next famous segment, bald talk, with me, your host, Daniel King.
That's a whole nother. It's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, it could be a whole nother podcast. Welcome back to Bald Talk. The thing about Timothy Olyphant is I don't buy him as a cold-blooded, calculated fucking killer. I buy him as a very nice guy. He just even when he looks mean and serious, you could be like, "Hey, man, what's really the problem here?" And he'd talk to you about like how he got denied a promotion at work or something. He's just a nice fucking guy.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't look sinister. Do I buy him as an assassin? Absolutely. Do I buy him as Agent 47? No.
Right.
Because he is a cold, unfeeling machine.
He needs a lot more hair as well. We've discussed that.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, that's bothering me. Him in that role, it didn't work for me.
Timothy Olyphant not working for you.
That's what I thought pretty much the whole movie.
Do you have a favorite role with Timothy Olyphant in it?
Yeah, I really liked him in Justified, even though I've not seen it. But I enjoy this bit you're doing.
I know that Birdman. Really likes Justified.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Big fan. I personally have never watched it, but I've always liked Timothy Olyphant.
Right.
Like, he's never been anything that knocked my socks off, but I would always be like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would be like, oh, he's fine and stuff. And then I really liked him in Santa Clarita Diet, and I really like him in Deadwood.
Deadwood, okay.
Yeah, I really like him in Deadwood, and I really like him in that other thing I just said.
He's a cop in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, he is a cop in Gone in 60 Seconds. He's in tons of shit.
He is, yeah. It's somebody you see in a lot of stuff, like you said.
Santa Clarita Diet's a pretty good show. So Netflix, their whole deal about they're going to lose tons of subscribers. They got to start charging more. They just offed a bunch of employees. Yada yada yada. It seems like maybe a media spin about them just wanting to save some money and make more money. Hopefully they're going to do something with additional income, but I wish one of those things would be to just bring shows back like Santa Clarita Diet and shit that people actually watched and really liked. They had so many series that they started and then just stopped making them. They were like, there's not going to be any more of this.
Right.
Thank you for coming. So why do I want to watch a season or two of a show that's never going to get a conclusion or is never going to go anywhere?
Yeah, it makes you wonder what you should get into, spend the time on.
Yeah, I mean, we still live in the golden age of entertainment where goddamn near everything is pretty fucking good. Like, even shit that I'm not into, I'm like, man, it's fine.
Right. Yeah, if it's done well. So.
We're getting way off topic, which is fine. It's because in the movie Hitman from 2007, it's fucking boring. Timothy Olyphant just seems like he would help your grandma put her groceries away in a Walmart parking lot, and then he would actually take the cart back to the return.
Right. If not all the way inside.
Or, yeah, if not all the way inside, back in the store, and hand it to another elderly lady coming in the store.
Right.
And tell her to have a lovely night and get back in his car and fucking go back to Timothy Olyphanting about town.
That's right, yes.
I don't buy him as a killer. The rest of the movie's kind of drab, really. So Timothy Olyphant's Agent 47. He kills a guy, but evidently it's a double. And there's a body double, so the real guy is still alive. And then the agents that train Agent 47, now they're going to kill him. There's a hit out on him, and he gets to turn around, and there's some sexy love interest, and there's some titties, and
always got to have those titties.
Yeah, there's some titties in there, and yeah, I mean, he comes out on top, obviously, because they make another one of these with another guy that I believe I've seen that from memory was better than this, but
right.
I don't know.
He definitely played a better Stone Cold Killer.
It's weird that I really like Timothy Olyphant, and I don't like this.
Yeah, and I agree, because he's one of the he's what I hated about the movie, probably.
Yeah,
or I wouldn't say hate, but it's one of the things that turned me off.
I liked him. It turned me on, but he's not believable as an emotionless guy. He's got a very expressive face about him. I just don't buy him as this character.
Exactly.
As infamously comic book movies tend to get that wickedly wrong.
The story itself, I had a hard time following, to be honest. Like you said, it wasn't that interesting. I was trying.
No, there's some weird cuts. There's some weird camera stuff in here, too, that makes it a little like... Some of the choreography is not bad, though.
Right. Yeah. Some of the fight scenes were okay. Some of the shooting, the effects from that looked pretty good.
You're right. When that guy gets sniped, like a lot of the stuff where it's like, oh, so-and-so just got fucking shot in the whatever. It looks good. The actual action and explosiveness of it. It's got that video game feel to it.
Right.
But it also has a good impact on screen.
Man,
unfortunately, I just don't give a shit about the story.
Yeah, some of the outfit choices were very interesting. The guards towards the end of the movie, man, that motorcycle get up, whatever he was wearing.
All wearing gas masks, and he's got that weird, it's like a body armor suit that's 2 sizes too large.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, fucking super weird stuff, man. I don't have anything else to say about this. I didn't really find it to be all that terribly interesting. However, what I would like to know is if you were going to remake this, what would you do differently about it?
Well, the main thing for me would be to recast the main character, Agent 47.
Same page. You know who I'd like? A Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Doing his fucking emo, deadpan Bruce Wayne Batman.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That would be perfect, actually.
I think that'd be pretty good. Did you have one in your back pocket?
No. I was trying
Wilson.
to think of...
Wow. Shot that guy right in the face. Wow.
That'd be a different movie altogether. That's more like an SNL skit, man.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. No. I was thinking Jason Statham, but then he I think is he's too funny to play that role, so he wouldn't work.
Statham could do it. I think he might be getting too old.
Well, that's true too.
to do an Agent 47. But he could. He's a little short on stature, which doesn't make him not an action star. But the Agent 47's like just a kind of, I wouldn't say lanky, but he's a big man.
Right. I wasn't really thinking too much like that. I'm
God.
just thinking
Will Ferrell. You just make it a comedy. It's Will Ferrell.
Dude.
He's just quiet and super stoic with a shaved head. I bet he's got a weird looking shaved head.
Ugh.
You think? You think Will Ferrell's got that?
Kind of see him in the Get Hard movie.
You think he's got the super wrinkly scalp? You know what I'm saying? It looks like a brain when you push it together. You think Will Ferrell's got one of those?
No, he probably doesn't. He's probably got a nice head. I don't know, dude. He's got hair. I don't know.
He might. Who knows?
He might.
I want to just shave everybody's head for a month. You know what I mean?
It would be interesting.
Just see who's got weird scalps, weird domes.
My hair's very short.
Oh, my head's just fat. But I bick it, you know?
Yeah, and if I did that, I feel like I would look weird, even though mine's as short as it gets without doing that.
Nah, you just get a little fucking razor burn in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't, but
right.
I do. I know what I'm saying. It's a good reference. If you're out there and you shave your head, write me at itsjusttomovies@gmail.com, at itsjusttomovies on Twitter, Instagram, or other social networks, including Facebook and YouTube. Woo! So, mainly it would be a recast. I would do something more significant with the story and have the bad guy be a more bad guy rather than just an ambiguous political guy who's not in 99% of the movie.
I think the story would need to be changed quite a bit, to be honest with you.
Give me another rogue agent that's like a biological twin from his, separated at birth, born in a test tube. So the Judge Dredd, the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd storyline, just give me that with this, though. Yeah. And kick Timothy Olyphant the fuck out of here. And give me like a, what was who did I say? That you were like, oh, that's pretty good, actually.
For who?
Give me fucking
Bruce Wayne.
Robert Pattinson.
Right.
Give me fucking Robert Pattinson and give me I don't know. It's like literally anybody else. It doesn't matter. Somebody about Robert Pattinson's age that can be very deadpan. Yeah,
man, I'd say he'd be good. Especially after seeing Batman. I mean, that's perfect. Except for instead of making him dark, you just make him pale. There you go. It's the same role.
The only difference is you got to shave his head and put a stamp on his neck.
Right.
And
put him in a suit.
The worst part about this is I never for a minute buy Timothy Olyphant as Agent 47.
Right. Yeah. Even his interaction with the woman.
He's an okay assassin guy, but I'm like for him not being Agent 47, him not having hair is kind of weird.
Right.
Because he just normally has hair. And he has nice hair, so just let him have it and just don't call this Agent 47 or get somebody else.
But they went with this and, the ratings aren't great for it. So.
Yeah, no, they're not, and rightfully so.
Right.
There's some cool explosions and shit. There's some cool gun stuff. Some of the fight choreography is pretty cool. Yeah, when they have the fight scene in the train, and everybody's got their little fucking tiny swords out and they're all fucking going at it. I thought that was great choreography.
Yeah, I did. I like that part. It was pretty.
I can't remember what they're called, man. I can't remember the name. I said it earlier, and I was like, even said a little bit of history about it. I was like, I'm a nerd because I listen to nerd shit all the time.
Tiny sword. They weren't that small. It makes you like they're running around with toothpicks. No, that was a pretty good scene. I did like that.
Yeah, the smaller of the samurai swords, not the katana, but the other one. I just can't remember it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm moving past it. I Googled it. I couldn't find it.
Dude,
some of the fight choreography is good, is my point. Even some of the hand-to-hand stuff, but they're leaning a little too heavy in the just straight up karate hand-to-hand combat shit for me. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that part too much. There's some that wasn't bad, some that wasn't bad, but overall
they did some weird camera stuff during some of the fight scenes where I'm like, that's like some of it is fine, some of it's absolutely fine,
right,
and then some of it is just noticeably bad.
Right, same way with the green screen. There was some where they record the audio dubbed. So some of the places where they dub it doesn't make any sense to me, and it wasn't done very good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, and I don't even think it was the I don't think it was the stream version that we were watching. I think it just that's what the movie is like. It's dubbed and it's way off like that.
I didn't even think about it being possibly because we were streaming it.
We even rewound it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind and rewinded it. And it was fine.
Kind.
It was fine. Weird dubs. You're 100% on there. Man, there was something I wanted to say about it.
So how would you rate this thing?
Fuck, man. My version of it, probably like a 7. This version of it, I think I'm going to give it like a 5.5.
Okay.
I
was thinking 5.
It was pretty lackluster, to be honest with you. And for real, if I know I sound like I'm just fucking scratching the same old record all the time, but honestly, if they'd have cut 10 minutes off of this,
right,
I might have given it a little higher. There's a lot of unnecessary stuff in it.
It seemed really long
for it to also not be good. You know,
right.
But both of those things, we were like, oh man, what are we like? An hour and 15 minutes into this, and we paused it to look, and nope, 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, is this almost over?
No, it's still got an hour left.
Exactly.
Wow.
It seemed like it was, the way the story was going, it was so hard to follow. He just had a pretty big fight scene. Like that could have been the end of it, and it was not very far in at all. So.
No, 40 minutes maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't all that impressed with it. There we go. We thumbed it. We watched it. It was action, baby. There's assassins. That was the common tide. Next segment of the show. I'm going to make a drink.
That's the next segment on the show? You're going to make a drink?
I might leave that in, actually. Next segment of the show, I'm going to make a drink.
Hey, what you watching?
Hi, J-Bone. What you been watching? You got notes there? You thumbing through your notebook, looking at bad things, be like you wrote down earlier, and you're like, I've been watching this.
No, man, I didn't, because I've been watching a couple things on Netflix. I do this every couple of years. I get into serial killer shows, and they got some pretty decent ones on Netflix. I finished Night Stalker. I'd watched that.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, about Richard Ramirez.
Yeah, that one was pretty decent.
Sick
I watched.
fuck.
Right. Yeah, I watched the one about Gacy. I had finished. I think I'd started it on the last episode.
The Gacy tapes. I'm curious. I'm a big true crime fanatic. We don't ever talk about it on this show. Maybe I should do a true crime episode at some point. But I do like true crime. Like in my free time, that's a big part of what I consume is historical, educational, and true crime stuff. But I'm curious, as somebody who's seen like 5 or 6 different Gacy things before and listened to probably a baker's dozen podcasts on it.
Right.
Is it anything new, or is it just kind of the same information repackaged? And if so, how is that?
They all those shows are somewhat similar, I think, and I think it all is pretty much the same information. It was fine. I mean, it was the same story, and they all package it just a little bit different, so it's all fine. It's all and it's been a long enough since I've watched one. The last thing I think I listened to was the time suck episode about it, so he dove into it pretty good. But that's been at least a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, so it's interesting enough.
Was it good? How did it hold up for you?
Yeah, they're all, I like those. They're pretty interesting.
Is it like a short series, or
it's 4 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
I think they're 40, 50-minute episodes.
I actually also watched 2 true crime things. I watched
Debbie Does Dallas is not true crime, man.
That's true. Debbie Does Dallas is not. Fuck, what was the first thing I watched? We watched a true crime thing, and I was like, ooh, you know what this puts me in the mood for? Let's watch Don't Fuck with Cats.
Okay, I've not watched that.
I had never seen Don't Fuck with Cats. I was always like kind of aware of it. So what happens in Don't Fuck with Cats on the internet or something like that, if you go to Netflix and you search Don't Fuck with Cats, it'll come up. Long time ago, somebody on Facebook posted a video of them putting 2 kittens in a vacuum seal bag and sucking the air out.
Okay.
They posted this on Facebook, and a bunch of nerds on Facebook figured out essentially who it was.
Right.
and had called a police authority and were like, hey, listen, here's this guy, here's where he is, go in and get him. And they like pretty much didn't do anything.
Okay.
And then a couple of days later, that guy killed someone.
Oh shit.
And then they caught him.
Wow.
So he was going to be a serial killer. Like, it's a whole documentary about it. It's fantastic.
It is. It's good.
It's very good.
Huh.
And there's some parts of it that are kind of hard to watch, man. Like, I'm not into animals being tortured.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, and I was gonna check it out, and I'm like, this is weird. I don't really feel like seeing what's going on here, so I didn't ever even give it a chance.
It's good, man. It's good. It is some like Batman level detector shit.
Really? Well,
yeah,
cool.
it's a story about a bunch of people that are like, we're gonna play detective, only we don't play.
Right.
So let's get this son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff.
Talking about true crime. So I also watched the Ted Bundy series. It's another 4-episode series.
Oh yeah,
very similar to the other one. And did you ever watch that movie with Efron?
Yeah, I watched the movie with Efron. There's actually another movie that came out after that from the perspective of his lawyer, played by Elijah Wood.
Really?
And not only is the movie better, but the casting, man, the guy that plays Ted Bundy in that Elijah Wood movie is a fucking dead ringer.
Really?
Dead ringer. And he is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I was wanting to watch, because I'd never watched either one of those. I didn't even know about the second one.
The one with Efron's good.
I'd never watched it, and I had just recently got done with it, so I was wanting to watch that movie, since it's fresh in my mind, some of the details, of his crimes. But yeah, so I've been watching that. Other than that, man, I've been selling a bunch of shit on eBay. Some of my video games and movies and stuff. I've been selling, not my movies that I keep. I've just been buying movies on whatnot to resell.
Yeah,
I buy them for $10 and sell them for $25 on eBay.
You love doing some collecting.
I do. Some of the old video games that have been sitting in boxes, I've decided it's time to find a better home.
How many? Out of curiosity, before you sold any, how many video games do you have approximately?
Probably pretty close to 2,000.
Fuck yeah. That's a shitload of video games.
Right.
So, I mean, as we're recording this episode is not going to come out for like 6 weeks because it's summer break, and that's part of summer break is me not recording this for 6 weeks at a time.
Right.
But so the good people out there, anybody that's into video game collecting, how might they reach out to you to see what you still have available when this comes out?
Oh, I'm on Instagram. Justin Rawson 02 maybe. If you're interested, I can send pictures if anybody is interested in that. But I'm on eBay, Justin Rawson 2002 on eBay. I don't have a store, but I list stuff right now until it's gone. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff to get rid of. I'm not getting rid of everything, but I'm getting rid of.
You've been collecting that shit for a long time.
Oh yeah, and I've sold here and there over the years, but like 360, I collected a whole bunch of, so that's what I have the most of. I have probably real close to 600 now.
Yeah.
Just 360
What's
games.
I feel? I used to have a comic book collection a long time ago, and I gave it to a friend of mine because, he wanted to read them.
Right.
So he was very interested in reading all of them, so I just gave them all to him.
That was very kind of you.
And, I'm a nice guy. What do you say? Tim, if you're out there, I love you, you son of a bitch, but I hope you sold those comic books at least, because they're probably worth like $3,000 if you still have all of them.
They probably are water damaged. He let them sit in the window.
You think so? I don't think he'd do that.
It was an accident. The window was open. He didn't know it. Stormed suddenly. That's water
understandable.
Damaged.
Yeah,
they're all stuck together. They're like hard cardboard now.
Well, that's unfortunate, but what are you gonna do?
Make you feel better about giving away. Something.
Yeah, you're right. I had like 6 big boxes that are just like lined up with the cardboard backs to keep everything in nice condition.
That's a bunch of comics.
I did have a bunch of them. Yeah. I was a big nerd.
I bet you made that dude's day.
I fucking bet I did too. He's like, oh man, I'd love to read all these comic books. Well, joke's on you, motherfucker.
Get rid of this shit.
Yeah, so we had some fun giveaways on the show and stuff that I'm happy about. We sent some stuff out to somebody else who listens to the show, and
there is somebody else.
Yeah, well, I did a giveaway recently, not when this episode came out, but I did an episode. I'm gonna have some stickers made soon, and when I do, I'm just gonna do a massive giveaway with those. Like literally anybody who inboxes me, you can have some.
I'm down for a good sticker.
I will gladly send them to you. Yeah, I think I'm going to get like 2 or 3 different types made, and I've got a couple of designs so far, and I'm pretty excited about the way that they look. They look pretty great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, is there anything else you've been watching or playing on?
Yeah, I played a little more of that Trek to Yomi. It's that black and white side-scrolling kind of game. I think I finished up to the 5th level now.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know how many there are, but I feel like I'm getting close to the end of it. I might have a level or 2 left, I'm guessing.
Nice.
It's not a real long game, but I haven't had a whole lot of time to play that, and I've played some Rocket League.
I played some Earthworm Jim 2.
Hell yeah.
On the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
On one of the emulators.
Right. Super Nintendo emulator, I would
Motherfucker, that's a hard game.
Yeah.
Those Earthworm Jim games don't fuck around.
Yeah, but with the Switch, they make it easy because you can do save states. So
yeah, I don't though.
I don't either. But
yeah,
you
can.
If you wanted to, yeah.
But you can if you're not stupid. you can use the system to your advantage.
Of it,
right.
Man, I did that with Castlevania. They put out a Castlevania collection.
Oh yeah.
Man, I love it. Castlevania is one of my favorite games from back in the day. And the Castlevania collection was great because it had like 10 or 12 games, and some of them were the Game Boy games. They're not great, but they're okay.
They're fine.
But yeah, those get like Castlevania 4 on Super Nintendo was my favorite at the time. Mm-hmm. Man, and that game is not easy. And man, I beat that shit only with save states, I would say.
That's awesome. I would say I think probably my favorite video game that I ever like just absolutely played it so much I could just pull its pants down and spank it. It's probably Ninja Gaiden for Xbox. Gaiden, whatever, however you want to say it. Don't fucking at me for that. But if you want to at me for that, write me at itsjustamovies@gmail.com. At It's Just a Movies on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or other social media platforms, including YouTube.
Ninja Gaiden is what I go with, and I have
that's
no
what I've
idea
always
if
said
I'm
is,
right or not.
That's what I've always said is Ninja Gaiden.
But you know what they're talking about, no matter how they say it. So
yeah, and I tell you this, it's a real motherfucker of a game, but it
was fun.
Beat some ass on Ninja Gaiden.
Man, I remember playing Ninja Gaiden. And I don't remember where we was. It was like an early memory. Camping, and the person that was next to us in the campsite over, they didn't have a camper, but they had a tent set up with an air conditioning unit, a TV, a box, one of those little box TVs. We're talking probably early 90s, and he had a Nintendo set up, and we were playing Ninja Gaiden over there while we were camping that early. Now it's no big deal. You can do anything you want very easily, but back then, having all that shit set up,
oh, that's a big ordeal.
Right?
Yeah. That's fucking half your night.
Right.
You didn't bring other shit, so you could bring that shit.
Yeah, and that's what's like, my parents, no shit, we're going camping. You ain't fucking playing those video games. You're getting away from video games. You're going out to the woods.
And
we didn't do that a lot.
I have always loved camping, and I only remember camping a handful of times when I was a kid.
Right?
Like a handful of times.
Yeah, we didn't do it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do it a lot either. I love it, though.
But that was the point.
I'm just a dirty fucking hippie.
Right.
I just love being out in the woods. I'll fucking shit in a hole in the ground. I don't give a fuck. I'll wipe my ass with a couple of leaves and then go dip off in the fucking muddy-ass river. I love it.
There you go.
Stick my arm in a hole under a rock in the river to see if I can get a catfish.
That's not fucking for me. I'll tell you that.
And you know what?
That makes me uncomfortable.
You know what? I feel justified.
You guys aren't going to start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that gold talk for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob, we don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah. Like, instead of your normal outro, you should do that. Dude.
Just that one episode?
Yeah.
Just all these inside jokes about a TV show I've never seen.
I know, dude. That...
On this lonely road, trying to make it home, doing it by my lonesome, pissed off, some.